Hi everyone, welcome to day 10 of the 21-day challenge with Kids Time. I have recorded this video about 7 times so far, and for some reason I keep making mistakes. So this time I'm going to run through the whole thing, and if you want to spend the whole time laughing at me, that's fine, but we're going to get on with the recording this time. So today I'm going to talk about meal planning, and this is a really cool meal planner I got off Amazon. It's magnetic, it sticks to my fridge. An A4 sheet of paper with Monday to Sunday written across the top will do exactly the same job, so you don't have to go spending any money to do this. So what I do on a week-to-week basis is I like to plan my meals early in the week. On a Monday, usually what we do is for lunchtime, etc., we try to finish up what's left over from the weekend so that we minimize food waste. We were pretty good this weekend, and we used up quite a lot of what was in the fridge, so I've planned a meal for today, and we usually go for a meat-free Monday. Not that you have to do a meat-free Monday, but that's just our choice in the household, and we like to reduce the amount of meat we eat, and it's a really good option for getting in lots of extra vitamins and minerals in our diets because we're eating far more vegetables and fruit. So the plan for this week, and this might be back to front because of the GoPro, because of the way it's set up, but if you can't see it, I'm going to talk you through it anyway. So this week on Monday, or today, we're going to have cottage pie, and this one is an easy one because I'm doing one batch of mashed potato, and you can use regular mashed potato or mashed sweet potato, whatever you have in your fridge. Oftentimes I'll mix parsnip with my mashed potato or carrot, and the kids don't really tend to notice all that much. So today I'm going to use aduki beans from my cottage pie. Again, if you prefer to use your minced meat or your minced lamb, whatever you're happy with, use it. But you might notice here that I've followed on into Tuesday with chili. So we're going to have tacos tomorrow, and the mix from this is just beef stock and vegetables. So what I'm going to add to it here is some chili, a little bit of cinnamon, and some other bits of coriander, and maybe some sweet corn. So this mix, I'm going to do a big batch today, is going to work for Tuesday as well. So that just minimises any drama from tomorrow. Once we're finished the meal today, while it's still warm and I'm leaving it out to cool, I'm going to add in those spices, because you know chili is always better the day after you've made it. So that's my plan for Monday and Tuesday. So Wednesday I have planned salmon for dinner, and I'm going to roast a side of salmon. You might have seen it on my website. If you've looked on my website, I usually do a whole side of salmon in the oven with some feta cheese. What else do I use? Flaked almonds and yellow pepper and black pepper, and yellow peppers and ground black pepper on top. And that's one of the roast salmon dishes I use. When I do it this week, I'm not going to add the feta cheese, but I will add the almonds and the peppers, and I'm going to add a drizzle of sesame oil to it, and maybe sprinkle some sesame seeds on the top. And the reason for that, so I'm going to have this with vegetables and maybe some chopped sweet potato or a sweet potato mash or something. So that's on Wednesday. But on Thursday I'm going to do egg fried rice, and I'm going to add whatever salmon is left over to the egg fried rice, and we're going to do a stir fry to go with that. So I'll probably use maybe some fresh bean sprouts. I'm not a great fan of chard just because I don't like the taste of it, but I will add it in chopped, and I'll just take out the bits I don't want. But it's really good and really nutritious in a stir fry. Yeah, whatever vegetables you have in the fridge, you can julienne some carrots. As I said, I'm going to use bean sprouts, but there's so many options. Peppers, anything you like you can throw in. And I love adding nuts to my stir fries, so I'm going to add probably some cashews. So that's my option for Thursday. So then we come to Friday, and I'm going to roast a chicken. Friday is a really busy day for us at home, so what I usually do is I wrap it up at lunchtime. I put it into the oven at about 160, so that by the time the kids get home from school 3 hours later, or maybe for the last 40 minutes, I put the temperature up, take the tin foil off, and just brown the bird. So it's literally falling off the bone. By the time they get home from school, they have their whole dinner. They've had a roast chicken, not a whole roast chicken, but they've had roast chicken, and I've boiled some potatoes, or I've roasted some potatoes to go with it, and that's their meal on Friday. And then we're able to leave the house, go and do horse riding, go to music lessons, and do all the other bits that we want to do. And then on Friday evenings they have a small snack, instead of instead of having their big meal. Saturday, whatever's left over of the chicken, and my kids, I don't know if yours are the same, but my kids don't like, if I roast legs on their own, they'll eat them, but on a roast chicken, they won't eat the legs. I don't know why, but any of the underside meat, any of the brown meats, I always use in the curry, and it gives the curry such an amazing flavour. So Saturday is going to be a curry. I'll probably end up making that on Friday evening when I get home, or else I'll just pick the chicken on Friday evening. If I was really, really good, I'd use the carcass to make stock. Maybe once a month I end up doing that, but I don't always have time, and I end up with tubs of stock in the freezer and not having used them. So Sunday is usually our day where we either go out for lunch as a family, or we'll use up what we've had in the fridge for the week, anything that's left over. So one of us could be eating the last bit of chili that was in the freezer, and we'll pull it out. Somebody else is going to have the last bit of salmon. Someone else is going to have some of the leftover chicken curry. But this is how we work our week in the house. Now, sometimes what I find here is I might have to fry up an extra chicken breast to put in there, and that's fine because you're only frying one chicken breast. But the main goal of this is to simplify your day, and once you have planned in advance what you're going to eat, you're not going to the fridge and going, oh God, I've none of this or I've none of that, and I planned this in my head, and it really makes life so much easier. So your goal for day 10 of the 21-day challenge, after all my talking, is to go and get a piece of paper, and from today, so I want you to look in your fridge, see what food you've had, and plan your meals for the next 2 to 3 days, depending on what food you have available to you. And then the next day before you go shopping, make sure you eat before you go shopping, and you're not savagely hungry and buying everything in the shop. I want you to plan what you're going to cook for the week, and I want you to shop according to what you're going to cook for the week. And hopefully you'll see one of two things. Number one, you'll see less food waste, and number two, ideally I'd love that you would see a saving in your shopping, because you're not buying extra stuff that you're potentially not going to use. That's it for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed today's talk, and we'll see you tomorrow for another workout. Have a nice day.